see these out of. Hello? This is working.
Hello, hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
In the headphones.
Yep. I think we're all right.
I think so. Microphone, USB audio. Why does it not look like... Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe. I think we've had issues. I've had issues in the past. I was recording with the wrong device, and when it records with this microphone,
Yeah.
it sounds real echoey. It's amazing how well this little microphone picks up you and me.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. But but there's 2 episodes lately where we sound like we're in a tin can. So I was trying to avoid that. But what's funny is, like, maybe it's because your mic is up too. But when I do with AJ, the levels are a lot higher on the little streaming moving thing. If I don't make significant eye contact with you on this one, I'm probably gonna be keeping an eye on this to make sure it's still recording.
That's fine.
Because I've had dropouts with him, but mostly just with him, which is weird. So yeah, missed you, buddy.
Yeah. It's been rough.
We didn't do one last week.
That's all right. This week.
We did this one.
Yeah.
We didn't do the other one.
We didn't do the other one.
But they're usually all, well, I would say they're usually all done Saturday morning, but lately nothing's done on Saturday morning.
Everything's all, this is going to be the first Saturday morning in a while I've been able to do this.
Oh, it's like cartoons. It's like,
Speaking of cartoons.
yeah.
And we'll get to it in the Nerdcast, but
well, maybe.
I watched the first 3 episodes of He-Man.
I watched all 5.
And I
was gonna.
We'll say that.
Yeah.
We'll say that. But I have thoughts.
Yeah.
I have thoughts.
I love the fact that it's setting the fucking, like, like, not the purists, but like anyone who was looking for a reason to shit on the show.
Right off the bat, man.
It's like I love it. Even though it's so well made, it's so well written, every character's developed like fully, more than like 100 issues of the original show.
Evil Lynn can get it, okay?
Dude, with that voice, we'll go back. We'll let you do that one now.
No.
Because we got a lot to talk about. I almost want to wait to do that one for the next week.
Oh, okay.
Because we're behind a little bit here.
Well, no.
Remember we didn't do the finale of our
Loki.
We didn't do the big movie that came out.
Oh, Black Widow.
We didn't do... Yeah, there's a lot of shit. So
Fuck, there is.
Yeah, that's what happens when you fall behind.
That at least gives us something to fucking talk about.
Yeah. Well, none of which anyone wants to hear on this one. Yeah.
I have a lot on my plate, Ben.
Yeah.
And
other than food?
By the way,
AJ
here we go. Fucking Flashback Diner, man. I love you, man, but we gotta take a break. You're
speaking of
falling behind.
Speaking of a lot on the plate or not on the plate?
Oh, man, dude, I had.
Oh, that's a new segment. A lot on the plate or not on the plate? Give me more, or I don't want it anymore.
I had the chewiest waffle of my life at Flashback Diner last night. It was unfortunate.
What does that mean? Does that mean it's overcooked?
I think it is overcooked.
Too much of a certain ingredient in there?
But what
makes it chewy?
Here's the thing. I've been so Flashback, like,
I feel like when you say chewy, you're talking like Eggo waffles or something.
No, the Eggo waffle was fucking fluffier than this shit, man. It was.
Does
like,
that mean it's overcooked though?
Yeah, it was overcooked.
Oh.
No, excuse me. I don't think it was overcooked. I don't think it was made on establishment. I think it was reheated. I think it's I think what Flashback is doing, because we're
outsourcing to India.
We ordered some mozzarella sticks the last time.
Did they have any like curry in it?
And we ordered like mac and cheese bites this time because I was like, Flashback never has mac and cheese bites. Let's see what they are. And it's just shit you could buy at Publix.
Well, I like 99% of all appetizers at 99% of restaurants chain restaurants. Not, I mean, Flashback's sort of like not a chain, but they've got more than one. All that stuff is shipped and trucked in on frozen trucks.
Yeah. No, but you get them from you get them from these distributors.
Yeah.
You don't go to fucking Publix down the street and just reheat what
I think that's illegal.
That's like what they're doing.
I think that's illegal.
Okay, so like
I know when I knew the manager at the ale house, when they ran out of something, they couldn't send someone next door to buy it. It was like, I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was booze or something, or if it was food. There may be a difference between the two.
I couldn't go get lettuce.
It may have been booze, and that may be a different.
Well, booze
thing.
has a lot attached to it when at that level.
Yeah, you
of,
can't. I know
licensing.
Yeah. So maybe I'm mistaking the two, or maybe they're related restaurant wise.
I think if you need lettuce or some shit, you can go down to Publix and grab some.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know. Sure. I don't know the rules.
That's why I'm not
any of that. Yeah.
That's why I'm not. I'm trying. No. I don't want to sound like speak real confidently, but ignorantly.
But I do want to add some like context to like this shitting on Flashback and their fucking fake ass food that I ate last night. At Flashback prices, no less. Like,
is this what we're gonna see now in the world? Prices going up, quality going down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because everything's short. Dude, okay. Yeah. So, like 8 months ago, they or it was a bit ago. You know what? No, it was right before the pandemic. Fuck all that. It was right before the pandemic. Flashback got like
the last pandemic, not the new pandemic.
Flashback got new owners. And there was a whole fuckload of changeover. They changed the menu. And like for the most part,
that was recently?
That was like this was like right before the pandemic.
I didn't know they did a changeover again.
Yeah, it was before they got new owners. Oh. And there was a whole thing about it. Well, anyway,
they discovered Jeff's crippling tab on their and realized they bought a money pit of debt.
We could have bought another restaurant with this.
This is more like this restaurant cost twice what we thought it was.
Holy shit. It's like finding
he is wimpy. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
The fact that they ever humored that was
he knew everybody there. So, but then the owner changed and you didn't know anybody. They kept changing managers and like you didn't have like staff like you used to. There was no stability. And experiences like varied, but it was still Flashback Diner. Like food quality was still what I expect, everything. Then the pandemic hit. And then they took the sign down. We thought Flashback was done.
Yeah, because in Davie, that's like real signage. It's not like, it's like nicely wood carved signs and shit.
So it finally comes out they were just refurbishing the restaurant. They used the pandemic as an excuse to completely redo everything, which okay, it doesn't look any fucking different except it has hardwood floors instead of carpet because it used to have carpet and some other like minor changes. Like
that's something that the Floridian needs to do. I don't know if they've done it, but I remember that carpet was there since like the 40s. And you could smell the carpet about 3 feet outside.
Maybe that's where you could find the cure for COVID.
You could start. That place had a distinct smell that would hit you right as you were opening the door. And you would get used to it really quick. Much quicker if you were hungry, but really quick. And it was no big deal. But when it would first hit you, and it was always the same smell. So it wasn't like something they were cooking. It wasn't something like they had an issue with one time. So I assumed it was the carpets.
It's weird with those 24-hour diners. They feel like they can never shut down. And like
you could do sections. You could shut a whole section down, deep clean the rug,
But it just
totally
seems, it just seems weird that
head to toe,
they don't treat it that way. The mindset's way different.
Like a Waffle House would be real hard.
Like you're afraid to shut down. Your clientele might stack up out the door, like fucking scratching their fucking arms, like addicts and shit. Like, come on, man. If you need a week down to change your fucking ratty ass carpet.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like, or for like a week, you've got some down hours.
Yeah.
Because like even the Titty Club, like my old boss Tony, redid the carpet for one of them up in West Palm. And it was like, obviously there's some downtime.
That's right. You did that. That must have been terrible ripping that.
I didn't do that job. That was like, he took the job and then had a couple of carpet guys that did it. So he has to hook up on carpet and makes a little there, makes a little on the labor, but he doesn't have to.
He took a commission off that job. He didn't do the work.
I mean, he took profit. He made all the profit on the rug, on the carpet.
Yeah.
And he gets a good markup on that. And he gets profit on the labor. But then he's free to take a second job. So that generates a little bit of money, kind of like Joe with the hotel, and then we were doing this. But whatever. So I wasn't involved with any of it except when it was like time to go around to the back at like a daytime hour after all the carpet and furring strips and padding had been ripped out and piled up in the back and soaked up a good amount of fucking rainwater for a good 5 days. Then he and I, with the double gloved, because what was in that carpet, had to throw it in his dumpster that we took to the dump. But that was a foul fucking carpet.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
I can only imagine the
picture like the carpet from like the Floridian, a 24-hour diner, but then jizz all over it. And spill like a bunch of booze and shit. And then make it like 3 times heavier by leaving it out for the rain to hit. So then it's waterlogged, and you've now also activated all the juices in the carpet. You've rehydrated. You've like reconstituted
maybe that's
from like powder.
Maybe that's where COVID came from. Maybe. Because there's at least 1 or 2 stains on that carpet where anyone at any point of its existence would just go, oh.
I'm not going to lie. When you're dealing with that much like garbage, like carpet waste, whatever you want to call it, all those furring strips with all those tacks in them, all splintered and broken, and you're trying to do this as quick as possible. Listen, let's just say, hopefully those old tetanus shots when I was a kid held up, because I got scratched to hell and back.
Ben's genetic code is swayed just a little bit.
Let's just say that prepared me for COVID. That my immune system, I knew it was top notch. Having throwing all the carpet out, and not dropping dead.
So Flashback opens up again, and it's different, but it kind of, we expected it to be a little different at first. Because
you knew it was, you mean
a limited menu? You're coming
I thought you
back.
meant like visually.
No. Like in the visual one, I was like, listen, it has hard floors now. Like it didn't really change.
Me out. It was like, if you're going to remodel,
and they didn't.
It was just like, take everything down off the walls.
And it took them a long time to do the little bit of work they did. Like, it took them months to do that.
I guess they were in no rush.
Because remember, we thought that place was closed.
Yeah, but I don't think
furniture stacked up.
Yeah, but once it was done, they still didn't open for like a month or 2.
Yeah.
So,
but they opened. The food is whatever. But like, I'd get my Ollie burger, my Lum's burger, and it tasted just like a Lum's burger.
Ollie burger. It's important.
No, this takes way back.
It's important to note that this used to be a Lum's.
Oh, which was a great
way
restaurant.
back in the day. And they had a
great restaurant.
They had a signature burger called Ollie Burger, and all these years later, the Flashback Diner has kept the Ollie Burger on the menu after buying the Lum's out. So
it's like a signature thing just in this little corner of the world. I
never tried one.
I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. I love an Ollie burger.
And I'm only aware of the existence of 2 Lum's. The one right here by us, I know there were others. There were a lot of others. But the only two I ever remember are the one right here and the one in Tampa that's right next to Mons Venus, the strip club.
It might still be open.
I don't think that one's there anymore. I'm curious now. Next time I'm in Tampa, I'm going to have to just...
I'm sure you could just Google it.
Drive...
Or you could just go and wait till you've spent the...
It's an excuse to go to the titty club, Marco. I just don't want to say it.
Wonder how those are doing now.
I don't know. Remember we... our old job was right by that Vixen's.
Mm-hmm.
And we never got to try it out.
We never got to...
Because we started... Well, I started that job like as the pandemic was hitting.
Yeah.
And I just... we were talking about how excited we were going to be to go check out the lunch there one day when they reopened.
Right there. We could totally get
right
lunch
when they
there,
reopened or something. And
never happened.
Yeah, well, because we don't work over there anymore.
So yeah, and then like lately, the last I'd say within the like, so it opens up again, and it's very iffy. It gets better. Because I used to go to fucking Flashback Diner a lot.
I think I've been there twice since it reopened.
But since it reopened, we've had a couple okay experiences, but then we had like a string of like 2 bad ones, and I was like, we're going to give it kind of a break. Because, and then the last time we went, and then like 2 hours later is when the fucking manager went crazy, locked the door, and started berating people, and they just shut down.
Wait a minute. We have never talked about this story.
Oh, yeah. This is a thing, Ben.
No. This gets me excited. Now I wish Jeff was here. An interaction with a man, with a diner manager.
Apparently,
you could get the N-word thrown out.
Apparently, there's been like, because there is like a heavy turnover. I can't remember waitresses and waiters anymore because they just rotate. Managers rotate. The staff is ever rotating. That's like been the thing ever since it got back.
I think that's 2 reasons.
The new owners are absolutely awful.
The new owners hired a new manager, and everyone that was, I remember when we used to go there were people there for years and years. Mm-hmm. I think that was
you knew everybody by name.
That was all under this whole hierarchy, and now everything's changed. I think new manager probably doesn't run the place right. Plus, I think with COVID now, I think people are like, fuck this job. I'll just go get a sit-at-home job for this money.
Yeah. I think COVID definitely has forever changed how the workforce is going to look into like employment.
Yeah.
For a grand majority of it, Yeah, because you're absolutely right. Why would I put myself through this when I could go over here and make the same amount of money?
Especially when, like, I assume that place can be hot and cold. Like in terms of like busy.
Well, you have because you'll have your standard times. Your standard. There's a standard small breakfast rush. I guess a place like that doesn't really have a lunch rush, but definitely like an evening rush. And
Did they go back to 24-hour?
I think so. But anyway, so the last time we went, the manager went crazy, locked the place up. The police had to show up.
But why did they go crazy?
Because there was going to be like a bunch of walkouts, like a bunch of like the chefs were going to walk out because there was an unfortunate name passed around from manager to said chef who happens to be of African American.
So this is almost exactly like
it's close
a former story. It just doesn't involve a former acquaintance,
associate. Yes. She. They had an argument. A word was said, and he's like, "Okay." And the whole cookcraft, I guess they were gonna leave, and the restaurant was like, kind of like, half capacity at that point. And she locked the fucking. We had just left like an hour or two before this, and I think we were like watching a movie, and I'm like, "Hey, babe, look at this Flashback Diner's under siege here. It looks like by management.
Oh, you saw something on the
yeah,
internet.
it went viral, like mini viral, and we hadn't been back. And then last night, my mom calls me and wants to get dinner, and I was like, okay. And she's like, flashback. I'm like, ooh, okay, let's see what this is like. And I ate food I could have just went to Publix and got, and just put in my air fryer, and had I mean, dude, I spent almost $60. Okay, so yeah, I could have went and spent $60 and had a incredible fucking air fried meal. Because that's all the fuck it was here. And then, to add to all this, after our waitress takes our order, the manager on site, I guess, gets too close to her, and they have a fucking fight. Like 5 feet the fuck away. In front of, like, you know, there's...
Like an argument or a...
Yeah, an argument.
Throw hands.
She calls the owner... They go outside. There's a lot of screaming.
Wait. So that was one of those like brush my dick against you deals
I think so. I don't know. I think so because she's like
while she's leaning over a counter, he walks behind her and brushes his dick against her, but there's like 10 feet of space and he didn't need to.
She takes her food order. And I guess she's inputting it. And as something like that happens, man, and all you hear is like, "Get the fuck off me!" And I was like, "What?" You know, my ears perked up, and the way I was sitting when you first enter flashback. There's like a tiny little glass like breezeway, and the first booth as you walk on your right is where we were sitting, and I was looking.
So you have a view straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, and she's like, "Get the fuck off me right fuck now!" And you're like, "Whoa!" And it's funny because like it was right by a group of, I guess, like softball. Like middle school softball players,
like a team.
And their families, like a team, and the looks on some of these fucking parents' faces was amazing. I was just spectating. This was great. It was the best thing. She had just inputted our food order, so I'm like, oh no, I don't know when we're ever gonna get our food. And I smoked before we went because I wasn't anticipating going out. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting, and I wasn't really hungry, which is why all I ordered was I got the fucking strawberry, the strawberry shortcake waffle thing, because I was like, fuck it, I'll have a dessert, and it was so sad, but because it felt like they just like, these are frozen waffles that they just reheated, rubbery as fuck, and like they gave me like the idea of whipped cream. I had to have the manager come back. The manager, you know, touch a bum, come back like 2 fucking times with whipped cream. I'm like, bro, like you can't just do this. What the fuck, man? We waited almost 45 minutes for our food. And like when the mac and cheese bites came, they were like, obviously this came from a bag that you can purchase locally. And we didn't order anything exotic. My mom got a steak with 2 sides, but everything there could be steamed from a bag. And
look at Mom ordering the most expensive thing on the menu.
My mom had a double Chardonnay.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Marco, no wonder you're $60. You know what? Tell her next time you invite someone, you pay.
That's my mother.
If the inviter.
Oh, no, she gave me money. She gave me money.
I'm just fucking with you. But
my mom does the thing where she's like, here, take the money, and I'm like, Mom, you don't need to. She's like, take the money. I'm like, okay. I don't fight her over it anymore. I just go, okay. unless I really like, no, I'm paying for this.
I was joking, but maybe all that like maybe all those bad vibes got soaked into your food. That place seems to be See, it's funny because I was thinking as you're telling the story, I'm like, you're not really like, you're kind of selling me on the place. Like, I feel like any night I go,
you might get dinner and a show,
right?
Yeah, because it just seemed, and it's funny too because they had a big blow up. He was on the phone, she was on the phone outside, and you could kind of hear stuff because we were sitting right the fuck there, but you couldn't make it out. And then they go back to like business as usual. Like the rest of our meal, he's running food all over the place, and she's like I had to deal with him with my food, and then she delivered some of the other plates. So I don't know what the fuck happened, man. But that place is dysfunctional as hell.
Probably, maybe they fucked at some point, and now they're not fucking. And he's being a little overly familiar with her, and she's had it with him, but obviously they both need the job.
That's weird. That's a weird visual. He's like this older Indian guy.
Oh, maybe not then.
Yeah, he might just be a weirdo.
Yeah.
He looked like a weirdo, Ben. He was lanky. He wouldn't look you in the eye. Like there's something quite off about the guy. I would see some kind of weird situation where he's trying to hit on the waitresses, and this poor woman. There was only 2 there, and we were at about half capacity, and there was only 2 waitresses on the floor, and they were both stressed the fuck. I tipped extra. I felt bad. But, they went about business as usual. It's like, 15 minutes ago, I thought the cops were going to show up, but this was going to get fun.
It's like a tea kettle. Just needs to let some steam off every now and then.
I know. Fuck. So, Flashback Diner's become very Davey now. With food is like, I should have just cooked this. I would have saved a lot of time and money. You know? So, whatever.
I never really, outside of like sandwiches and breakfast, I never really put a lot of like weight into the quality of any of the other stuff. I wasn't like ordering steaks and
it's a diner.
Yeah,
my mom just but I mean it looked good. I'll give it that. She liked it, so it was the nightly special.
I think unless you go to a place where like they really like are known for cooking steaks, like a steakhouse or something. I never find myself ordering a steak anywhere.
You know a place that has a surprisingly good fucking steak? Uncle Al's. Uncle Al's is, but we always go for one thing and one thing only.
I didn't know they served anything other than chicken wings. I know they hand me a piece of paper with a lot of writing on it, and off of that, I order wings. And I know you sometimes order mozzarella sticks, but I didn't know they actually served anything else. Mm-hmm. Burgers, maybe I would have assumed.
Yeah, the standard bar.
Yeah, fare. That's a surprise.
How'd
you even find what? Who?
Oh, we were having there was a wrestler meetup. One of Rusty's.
I went to one of those.
Yeah,
I might have been to that one. You ordered a steak at fucking Uncle Al's, or did you just try off someone else's plate?
No. No. I know exactly what it was. We met up with.
Well, then when we sat in the back at one of the big tables.
Yeah, that's not the time. The time was there was a time beforehand where I met up with Jeff and Jesse. After a show. It was after a show, and I think Bobby was there. God, you may have been there too. But Jesse had gotten the steak.
With Jesse Neal, I assume I was.
Yeah, I think you were there too. I think you were there too, because there was a big group of us, and Jesse goes, and he's like, Prime, you got to get the steak, man. This fucking steak is great. I'm like, at Ale House? He's like, I know.
Ale House or at Uncle
Al's. Uncle Al's. And he's like, I know, but this is good. And I'm like, all right. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get the fucking steak. And it was a good damn steak. It doesn't look like one when they put it in front of you.
It looks
the presentation is very much so lacking.
It looks like the critter that got ran over outside.
But whatever they season that bitch with, it's good for me, man. That's good steak. It's not like when you go to Outback, or if you go to an actual steakhouse like Longhorn or something, or and when they put the steak in front of you, you go, that looks like it's going to be a good steak.
That looks just like the commercial, but smaller.
Yeah. This looked like something that they shot in a commercial, then ran over in the back parking lot by accident, washed it off, and put it on my plate.
Right.
But it still tasted
as
good.
As long as you get all the little grits of asphalt, or the pellets from the shotgun when you killed it out in the swamp there.
But I've never had bad food at Uncle Al's.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever had. the experience is
like I said. I thought they only served one thing, and when you do that, it's hard. It should be hard to fuck it up.
Remember when
To me, they're like the same exact place as Wilton Wings.
Oh my God, Wilton Wings.
You know, except more bar.
Yeah.
Uncle
yeah,
Al's.
way more redneck.
I mean, just more bar, like liquor and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's like an actual bar that just so happens to have a really good kitchen.
and so to me, like both those places, it's like what who would get something other than wings? But I guess people do.
Oh man, yeah.
Whatever.
Remember, like the wing house that opened up.
Yeah,
where the old
in that doomed spot where
restaurants come to die.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where like it's been like 3 or 4 different restaurants.
It's been more than that, and it's been
there's a place like that near my dad.
It's been remodeled twice.
It was a hoop. What was it? Hoops? Was there a Hoops? Was that it?
Or that's right. Hoops was there as well.
I remember we went and watched.
There
like
was a TV
game there with Kevin.
There were TVs everywhere.
Yeah.
That Hoops was phenomenal. Present in the staff, very very well cast.
There was like a pervert hiring, huh?
Absolutely, those women were gorgeous.
He had a type.
And I think their downfall was the fact that they spent every dollar they could on on TVs.
Yeah, that place was like one of those like those places where like they're trying to be like kind of slightly upscale sports bar in an area where people would just want a sports bar. So you're paying like $3 extra for food.
Yeah,
it felt like, and it wasn't $3 extra. You didn't taste it. So people were like, all right, we've checked this place out. We've done it. It's fine. But it's like a...
It's a place that belonged in like downtown Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Or like Los Olas.
Yeah.
That's where that place belongs. Yeah. That's that clientele base. Davie is not that client.
Not out west here.
They did one of those, if we build it, they will come. And like, nah, Davie's kind of like a no man's dead land. Those shit doesn't really apply here.
Dude, there's still people riding horses on the streets in Davie.
That is still a mode of
transportation. That's not even like an exaggeration. There are people.
The only thing we're missing is the Amish, to be quite honest with you. If we had an Amish community...
I don't know that we're missing that.
Oh, I think we are, buddy.
You want to go get like handcrafted items?
Let me tell you, man. When I first went up there, when I was working up in Alabama, like the 2011 or 12.
Alabama?
Yeah, the company I worked for, because when I did the traveling electrical work, the reason I missed the SuperCon the 1 year, or 2 years, or whatever it was, is I worked for a company in Alabama. So I was like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I'd go for 2 weeks, do, electrical work, and then come back for 2 weeks. So it kind of worked out. But I went there, and we had to drive from Tuscaloosa, where the company was based, to Muscle Shoals for a job. And we went through Amish country, but I'd never been through Amish country in my entire life.
I didn't know there was any Amish country in that.
Dude, it's like
area.
It's like color disappears, and when you see them on the side of the road with the big carriages and the horses, I mean, it's kind of fucking creepy. It's kind of creepy because, like, it's one of the few things where you see on TV something for your entire life, but you've never witnessed it or seen it in real life. And like, oh, you see the Grand Canyon on TV, but when you see the Grand Canyon in real life, it's completely the fuck different. Everything is so much bigger and real and in front of you, and it's like we were talking about the other day, like, Randy Orton's deceptively tall because the TV can't do it justice. That's like how I feel about, places like Grand Canyon, go to New York or go to Vegas or, whatever you're experiencing. But like all the depictions of, short of like the comedy stuff, but all like whenever they do like the real life depictions or I've seen shows about the Amish or whatnot, it's kind of like, yeah, wow, it checks off every box. Like no surprises, but except it was, I don't know, it's weird. It's driving through there, man. I was just like, oh, wow. And I'm sure they're very nice people, but it seemed like a Stephen fucking King book. everything was like a little bit, like the colors were a little bit drearier everywhere.
See, I was going to make a joke, but I don't know if I'm confusing them with those people out in Salt Lake City. The Mormons. I wanted to start making some jokes,
Mormons,
but I don't want to cross.
South Park's already done everything that needs to be said about the Mormons.
No, but I was gonna make some Amish jokes, but I didn't know if they were actually.
Oh, you don't know if they
about the Amish, or if I was assuming they were. I don't know if the Amish marry their kids off at 13 years old or not.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they got to have the. Listen, mostly all I know about the Amish is what I learned from watching 2 movies. Witness with Harrison Ford.
I remember that.
And what was the one with Rumspringa? Was that Road Trip? Road Trip. Where I learned that they get a year to go fuck off and do whatever they want in the real world.
Oh! Fuck, what was that movie?
Road Trip, I just said.
Was it Road Trip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where Seth Green was one of the Amish people.
That's right.
He helped fix the Judge, the old car that they had wrecked.
God, I forgot that movie
and
existed.
I don't remember the band, but it was a big band was playing some fucking party they were having at the Barns, like a Green Day level kind of band.
It was probably Green Day.
Apparently and I assume it's sort of true if they did it in a movie, but that the Amish are allowed to, the kids before they commit to the lifestyle for the rest of their lives are allowed to go kind of experience whatever they need to experience beforehand and then come back after their walkabout or journey or whatever you call it.
Spirit quest.
Yeah. And decide, heroin's not for me. I'm going to go become an Amish.
Heroin's not for me.
Like, what would you do if you never did anything before? And then you're like, go get it out of your system. And then come back and...
Especially today's world.
Do they feel like it's such a shock to the system that you'd come running back?
At this point, it has to be a selling point. Because you could imagine in the 40s, 50s.
You would think otherwise. You would lose such a huge percentage of your people being... once people listen, once I find the internet and...
and all the glory that comes within.
And booze and cocaine? What are we talking?
But you have to understand the thought process is they've spent their entire life. You spend your entire life living this one way, and then they're told at your coming of age of 18, 19, you're told listen, before we go any forward with this, just hey, go outside the confines of the community for a few weeks and figure it out. We'll see you in a month or whatever it takes. I don't know any of the specifics.
Yeah, I don't know.
With the thought process being the shock of that will be just too much for you. Because they live very simple lives. And they have, a community based off that, but you or me couldn't do that. Couldn't just be out on a farm
Well, the opposite is probably equally as true. I think there's a percentage of people that would be like, oh man, I don't miss the noise. I don't miss the constant I love being unplugged from the outside world. Yeah. I love working my hands. I love not having deodorant and air conditioning. I mean, it's an appeal to some people.
It does. It does.
And so it's the same thing, a percentage. Yeah. So a percentage of these kids are like, holy shit. Yeah. You mean I can bang all these chicks? They want to touch my penis? I'll see you guys later.
I think, I don't think they think like that, man.
Well, I think it's a percentage.
A percent, yes. You're absolutely gonna have a percentage where a light bulb goes off.
Because it's not like they don't speak the language. Yeah. It's not like you're dumping them in Kuwait or something. It's still America. They deal with the outside world enough where they're familiar with stuff that goes on. And, they've seen cars and all that shit. So it's not complete culture shock. I don't know. They may even have the internet. I know that Amish people have their own industries, but so either
Aren't the fireplaces
So either
the Amish?
they have places in the mall that sell their stuff that they run, or they sell it to someone that then sells.
There's
it.
nothing like some 16-year-old girl's first job being selling Amish fireplaces in the middle of a mall.
Fireplaces.
Is it the Amish with the fire, or is it the Mormons with the fireplaces? I know.
I didn't know anything about fireplaces.
Dude.
I know they make like they make stuff. Like,
No,
they'll
but
make like furniture and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like they make these electric fireplaces.
No, it's Amish are not making electric anything.
No, it's like fake. Oh my god, I want to look it up, but I know I'm gonna.
I mean,
I
could see this. I could see where they would build you a fireplace in your existing home.
No. It's
but
like
I'm sure they don't deal with code. Do you think they have to pull permits to raise a barn?
yeah. See the Amish fireplace. It's like a thing. It's like an honest to God. It's like an industry where they make these the fireplace heaters.
What, they make a heater that goes in the fireplace?
No. It's like a fake fireplace, but it's a heater.
Right. So a heater that goes in the fireplace.
No. It's like a standalone thing. It doesn't go in anywhere. It's its own little entity.
It's a fake fireplace that goes in.
Yeah, it's just a fucking box.
That's dumb.
Dude, listen. This is their industry.
I didn't realize that they dealt with electricity.
Yeah, they got like machine shops and everything. Like I think they're a lot more industrious than we give them credit for.
Where's the line?
I don't know. I don't know anything about the culture. Why are we even talking about it? We sound so ignorant right now.
Yeah. Huh. That's I'm confused now. I've totally confused myself.
Ben's gonna do some Amish research later.
No, I'm not. Trust me. As soon as this podcast is over, I'll have forgotten about the Amish completely until the next random time they're brought up. It did remind me of the brief moment we almost had a Amish themed wrestler down in South Florida.
Oh my god! Oh no!
Where we had our former friend Wingy, who we don't talk to anymore, because lines were drawn in the sand.
Jedediah
at SuperCon. But he I guess he took wrestling. He went to wrestling school for like a week or two, and
about that, yeah.
And we all came up with this harebrained idea. I think it was Anthony, me, him, where he was gonna play this. He was Haitian, and very tall, and he was gonna play a black Haitian, well not Haitian, but a black Amish character called Jedediah Jackson. And for like what two shows, he showed up in the white shirt and the black pants and the suspenders, and I don't think he had a hat. He might have had a hat. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But he just quietly like stood around watching with his hands in his pockets, like as like the strange presence, like like that people were starting to become aware of.
Oh my god!
And I think it would have been a great thing if we had someone that actually wanted to wrestle and saw it through. But he could have also just been a manager. He didn't have to wrestle if he didn't like it. And I think he took some. I think he rolled around took some bumps, and decided it wasn't for him.
Those first couple weeks, man.
It was like what's her name? That she trained a lot. Remember Valeria?
That's right. Yeah. Holy shit.
And at one time, I was trying to convince her to wrestle under Tsunami Punani. I said, "We'll get you." I don't even know what the gimmick was going to be, other than I think some kind of like a Polynesian thing with like coconut shell bra, grass skirt, and she could do the hair out like the Samoans do, the big poofy hair, and it was going to be soon.
Fucking Christ.
Her name was going to be Tsunami Punani.
She'd have worked in was it WEW, the Women's Extreme Wrestling? They did a few shows down here that I did production and ring work for. That's where oh my god, I say the name and all like Ty Killer Weed, Mickey James first started there. She was an Indian princess.
Yeah.
Forgot her fucking name.
I don't know.
But that gimmick would have worked there.
Yeah.
In front of that crowd.
It's kind of a glow.
They did those shows
they
did those shows at Old Club Atlantis. On Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Yeah.
And oh wow. I reffed.
Was it all girls?
Yes. And then
so Lou Spector was around.
Oh yes.
That was like just such a guess out of the air. Yeah. Of course.
No.
Of course.
But it's like he
slithered in.
And after the show, and during Fleet Weeks, they would do boxing. Where amateur boxing, where you could just sign up and get in the ring and box somebody. And they had me doing the reffing for that. So drunk sailors and shit getting in there to fuck each other up.
Did you bother to bring like a Foot Locker shirt, or did you?
No, I had a ref shirt at the time.
That's what I'm saying, a ref shirt.
Because I had just really broken in at the time, and I was still like learning the ropes. So I did ref work. I did whatever you asked me to do at that point.
Were you here when Earl asked about that? And we said,
yes, Earl, no.
We said
we love you so much, Earl, but no.
He said, how do you become a ref? It's like basically you just stand around and someone will eventually ask you to be a ref when they don't have a ref.
If you want to be in the professional wrestling business, go to an indie show when they're when they opening up the building. Stand there. They will give you a job. Congratulations, you're in. That's all it takes.
Basically, you could
just work your way up from there.
You could speed your chances up of becoming. Of moving past, migrating to the other side of the barricade, if you let someone know that you have black pants and a ref shirt in your car, then they will. It's almost like you're hired.
Earl was like,
they're almost always short of ref.
Earl wanting to be a ref. I mean, part of me wants to see it. Just like put him in the ring with like two.
I mean, he's bigger than anybody that wrestles in South Florida.
It would have been the greatest thing ever.
He's big. Like, I don't think I could name one person bigger than him.
Oh, Jugs.
Yeah, but
not in the good way.
Yeah,
not in the good way. But he is physically bigger than him.
Oh no, fatter.
Yeah,
like Barrington. But
no, Jugs is like taller too. He's like 6'7", 6'8".
All right.
Yeah, but Earl is Earl.
Right.
an athlete at the top of the chain.
Right. Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, refereeing. Yeah.
If you want to get in the wrestling business, people, it's pretty fucking easy.
I remember we went to, I think the place was called the Foxy Lady.
Foxy Lady.
In Providence, Rhode Island. It was a titty club. And I remember that they had, like, Foxy boxing. And the girls were like, it was kind of like everything you picture in, like, any like
absolutely.
Fucking movie where they're in fucking bikinis or lingerie, and they got like slightly oversized gloves and headgear, or maybe not even headgear. This was early 90s. And like maybe they were, I don't remember if there was a ring or if it was a fucking inflatable full of Jello, but no, that would have been wrestling. But yeah, it was boxing. I think they had a ring with like lavender ropes and like, you know, it was very like it had a lot of glow to it, you know. And I think the boxing gloves were like, you know, the same color, like a weird light purple pink kind of thing. And I just remember there must have been some real money on the line because they were beating the fuck out of each other. These girls were like, it was like when you have a animal caught in a trap. They were just vicious, man. They were rabid.
Which is crazy because on my side, they were all drunk. So you get these alpha fucking Navy guys, and they get in the ring. They get the same deal with the oversized gloves and the
headgear.
and you realize that like most people can't fight.
So, what's the lie? Did they have to sign?
Yeah, they signed a waiver. You got to sign a waiver to get. I mean, listen, man, this was 2002.
This is
2003.
I mean, I came up during the time of dwarf tossing. All kinds of like shit they don't do now. Dwarf tossing was like a big thing at a couple places. I remember there was dwarf tossing. I mean, that's a lost art.
Is it?
Yeah. That's a question someone asked who never saw a dwarf get tossed.
That's not true. I have seen
Not in a professional wrestling.
no. Well, no.
Like more in a Velcro suit target kind of way. Target on the wall kind of way. Or like when you're trying to knock shit over with a dwarf. Dwarf bowling is a thing too, but that's less. That's like they're on like a skateboard and you shove them down the aisle and try and knock some big like inflated pins over. But that's nowhere near as fun as picking a dwarf up and throwing him. If you haven't picked up a dwarf and thrown him in your life, have you ever even like really lived?
I don't think I have been.
I mean, you've picked up some pretty small people and thrown them.
But never an actual little person.
Yeah.
Not that I can remember anyway. I can't remember. Maybe at like one of the cons, some weird shit happened. Who knows? A lot of alcohol was drinking those nights.
Yeah. I think the only opportunity we ever had was the guy we talked about the other week.
No,
Jimmy. But that guy was like,
yeah, you weren't throwing him.
No, that guy was a solid. That guy was built like a fire hydrant. That was, and probably weighed as much.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I mean, we could. I mean, we could talk about dwarf tossing for about an hour.
I guess we can. I don't know how much I can contribute to it.
I don't think I ever picked up a dwarf and threw him, but I have seen it in action, and it's pretty crazy. Again, like you said, there are nights I don't remember very well, but I'm pretty sure if I was in the condition to not remember the night, I probably wasn't in a condition to pick up anything heavy like another human being. So that's a spectacle. What else? There's like girl boxing. But I just assume.
I mean, you get your standard Jello wrestling.
Yeah. But the boxing is like something where people can get fucked up, man. I know they give you the extra big gloves because it's probably harder to hurt someone else.
Oh, dude, and
because they're bigger, they're probably heavier, so it's harder to swing them.
So get this. My job was two things. I had to like keep, because these people get in this fucking ring and all of a sudden think they're Mike Tyson.
Yeah. They
start mean mugging and they start going crazy, and this is before Ultimate Fighter. Like this is when the MMA wasn't MMA, when it was just underground fucking cage fighting still. This is like people still hadn't given it its respect yet. But like you started to see affliction shirts and shit because it was starting to come into like or tap out shit. Because it was starting to come into prominence. They hadn't yet done Ultimate Fighter, but UFC, MMA had like, so it was like this weird time. So they get in this ring and these people think they're basically cosplaying boxers, and they're drunk as shit. So one of the things is like, the owner's like, so if one of my jobs was, if you think that they're gonna, if they're gonna fuck somebody up, or if you think it's too one-sided, like you got to make the judgment call when to end the fight. So I had to figure out a time to end these fucking fights between, if something happened during a fucking round, which I think was only like a minute long.
Oh, that early in your life to be called on for your judgment.
I know. Ooh. And I'm dealing with people that like, bro, some of these people, man, if they want to keep punching this guy, I ain't going to fucking be able to stop them. All right. I mean, I'm like barely 21. I think I was like, I couldn't drink. I was like 20, 21. Yeah, I remember a lot of this. Yeah, I couldn't drink during that time. It was just crazy. I could just sit around and just fucking watch everyone else have a great time. And I couldn't, it was another year afterward where I couldn't drink. That's right. So, yeah, I was 20 years old. And there, some of these guys, I might weigh like $180, $190. I ain't 200 pounds yet at that point. And some of these fucking guys go in there like 265. What the fuck am I going to do? My light suggestions, like, hey, please stop hitting this gentleman, I'm going to throw my body in between the two of them. What the fuck, man? So it was...
Got to tie him up.
It got crazy sometimes, man. Because, you get some guys like, his whole ship's there. And another guy's whole ship's there. And they're fighting. And all of a sudden, you get this weird thing where, like, 2 ships worth of pent-up male aggression. And, dude, there was almost, like, fucking riots.
I got nervous for a second.
Yeah.
Pent-up male...
Listen, who fucking and fighting? A lot might be going on. There was a lot of alcohol being passed around, and God knows what else. Yeah. And I'm literally sober in the middle of all of the chaos, and like
So how often is there a fight? Or is it like constant people signing up?
Oh yeah.
Or are you just sitting there for an hour until 2 people get
No. It's like from 9 to 10, and the sheet's been filled out within the first 5 minutes. So it's crazy.
What did they just do, 1 round or 3 rounds?
I think it was 3 1-minute rounds.
Oh.
And most of it was people couldn't hit each other broadside of a barn.
Swing real quick.
A lot of
by the first round.
A lot of hugging. A lot of it was very, very simple. But every now and then you got one guy and he starts beating on a guy, but then the guy won't just fall, which is best case scenario for a guy like me who's just trying to keep things going. Because I don't want to like prematurely stop something and have the other guy pissed off. But at the same time, I was like, I don't want to murder. And I am not in any way qualified to be making any decisions. Again, hey, if you just stand around long enough someplace, they're going to give you a job. You're not going to be equipped to do it.
You could have called... Yeah, at that point, you're probably qualified to call balls and strikes in Little League, but not this.
Yeah, it was crazy. And like I said, you get some points where while I'm in the middle and they're fighting, you can see the crowd. You're like, all right, you're gonna have to make a decision here at some point. Make sure you make the right one, Salvino. You might not live to see. Because I can't, like, there's no free place for me to dive to safety out of the ring. It's all people. That old Club Atlantis was cool for that kind of shit.
How'd you get that job?
That was Mike Blake, who I entered the business with because he bought the FOW ring, and that's how I got into the business, by setting up the ring and starting the shows. He got the gig over there because he worked with the original producer of MLW, who did all the on-site production work for MLW. Well, he worked closely with him. So he moved over and did WEW, and that's what started it. And then Club Atlantis, when they saw the first show and saw the setup and realized, because I think it was Fleet Week when they did the show, because you have all these fucking hot-ass bitches in this ring wrestling, and they actually, like Mickey James, like some of them were good workers, and they were good matches. It was a lot of fun. But you get all the fucking, the drunk fucking Navy guys and whatnot. And it worked so well that Club Atlantis was like, oh, we want to do the boxing thing. And they gave them the idea to do that. And we did that for a little while. And it was fun, except for the fact that, again, I was like 19, 20. I couldn't do shit. That was like one of the worst. It was like, because a lot of people were having a lot of fun. And like, I couldn't go out and party and shit. It sucked. It really sucked. Because everyone at the bar knew me, because we did this like every weekend. It was like a thing. We did this every weekend for months. I got good at being able to tell when somebody should be called off a fight.
When their eyes were no longer focusing on the person in front of them.
Oh man, sometimes, and they would some of them would try to like convince you, like, you go to call the fight, and they're like, no man, I'll give you my girlfriend, and you're like, well, what? Like, nah, man, you gotta, the pride, they can't. Sorry, just knocked the microphone. They can't take the pride hit, so they're like, I'll buy a drink, I'll do whatever, And it's like, nah, man, you're one of your eyes is rolled back in your head, man. Yeah. You're done. Sorry, bro, done.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Or like when they're so drunk that they go for a hug and they trip over each other, and they're just like, they're rolling on the ground. It's turned into this weird wrestling match. This really weird, sad, like playful wrestling match. And you're just like, guys, stop. You're embarrassing yourselves. Get up. But it was fun. It was fun. But there were only a few times where I was like, all right, this might be it.
They're gonna shut us all down.
These two crowds are going to converge, and they won't be able to. They won't be able to. They'll need my dental records to be able to identify me after this is all over. Because I'm in the middle of the ring. There's nowhere for me to go. And I'm quote unquote authority.
Allegedly.
And fuck nothing, man. I used to because so Club Atlantis had this little it was like a little auditorium, and very small. In the middle of it, we set up the ring. If I stood on top of the ring post, I could leap and grab the railing for the second floor. So my exit strategy was always...
You got it mapped out.
I had my exit strategy mapped out. Damn right. I was like...
Tarzan method of getting out of
I would practice it when we got the ring up before they let anybody in or anything. I would practice it a few times. 100% mentally did this, where I would practice the leap, and I was very agile at the time, so I could actually pull it off easily. If you ask me to do that shit now, I'm like, nah, man, no, I'm gonna call the hospital. Just get the ambulance here now. Roll out the fucking gurney. It'll just be a second.
It's like an Indiana Jones action sequence.
Yes, and I didn't know what I would do once I got up there, considering there was like a stairwell right there. But I knew I had better. I at least had an odds to like leap out a window or something. You know,
you could throw some punches.
Yeah, but it's like
they're all drunk. You're sober.
But it's like the horde mentality, man. They once they get a hold of you, you're like, you get sucked in, and then they get all over you. It's like the zombie, man. You can't. You gotta keep space between you so you can control the situation. These are the things I thought about, Ben. Jesus. This is what happens when you're not allowed to drink at a place where, like, your
mind's too active.
Yeah.
Pour some alcohol on that brain. Kid, I can see you thinking. Have a drink.
Although I will tell you, the ladies absolutely do not love a zebra. Because that didn't help at all. Because I fucking, I was in the center of attention. Never got anything else. I was so depressed. That's when I first started going, like, if you want to do this wrestling thing, you might want to consider going in a gym.
Well, you got to fill out the shirt.
Yeah. Ladies aren't going to look at you if you look like, one of the Sally Struthers kids.
Oh. You had a fly crawling over your eye?
Fucking probably there, man. I remember we had to pressure clean the fucking canvas every, 2 weeks. Oh man.
I hope that was after every show.
It was after every show.
Okay.
Yeah, it was after. Literally, we would.
Because I was thinking 2 weeks.
We would do it. We would do it the nenext morning. We'd come out the next morning. We would just roll the canvas up for the night, put it in a fucking garbage bag, and then the next morning we'd come out and go in. And every time.
How do you clean the mat?
You roll it out.
Where? Just on the ground?
So yeah, on the ground. So Club Atlantis had the pool area, but it was early on a Sunday, so they just moved all the tables and everything, and we rolled it out there. And
you cleaned it over there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, we had a good agreement over there. The guy loved it, man. The business. I mean, bro, Saturday nights. It was Friday and Saturday nights, and they were fucking completely packed out. I mean, you couldn't press another human being in some when we would get to 10 or 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. Ben, I told you, like once I was in the ring, I was in the ring. I wasn't going anywhere. It's just like there's nowhere for you to go. Fucking everyone. It was crazy. It was really cool. I just wish I'd have been a little older. If I was a little older, I would have had a lot more fun.
Yeah. We don't have these cool things anymore.
No, we don't. We don't, man. Could you imagine trying to do drunk amateur boxing at a bar now?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, it would be so sad.
It would be bad. Not only do too many people train on how to fight nowadays, but everyone wants to sue. So you'd be it would run like 3 weeks and you'd be out of business because you'd have 20 lawsuits already.
Oh yeah, first night. Listen, someone's feelings would have gotten too hurt.
Yeah.
Some of these guys would enter into the ring like this was going to be the start of something special, and within a minute and a half,
going in with an agenda to fuck someone up,
and then within a minute and a half, when they realized that their whole world was shattered because they weren't half the fucking person they thought they were. Whew, you could see some of them taking it pretty hard, man. When they would just be like, "Oh, my night's ruined," you know.
Yeah, but also I could see people looking to hurt.
Oh yeah, get the eye of the fucking tiger there. Yeah.
Like be in a malicious way, not like
and
I'm gonna win a boxing match, but I'm gonna fuck someone up.
I did initially, but I got so used to it that if I ever saw it, I would look like I'm like, guys, we're just having fun, all right? We're just having fun. Keep it fun. Like this is just for fun,
right?
All right. All right, there's no scouts.
I'm not scooping anyone's ear or eye off the floor.
I never had to like lie to someone and be like, "Hey, the police are right there," you know, or like I never like because that would have been a complete lie. You could have gotten away with probably murder. You probably could have caved someone's fuck. I mean, listen, some of these guys put these gloves on. I'm like, those cushion those gloves are merely a suggestion. If he hits you, you're fucking unconscious. No. We never had any no serious injuries. Never had to have the paramedics. Never had any issues like that. I think one guy may have slightly vomited in one of the corners, but I'm not even sure that happened. I'm just like, worst case, that would have been it. We had some ladies fight. Those were always interesting because you're just like, okay. 100% your boyfriends are in the crowd, so I have to be very fucking careful. That if they're allowing you to do this, I can only imagine what they'll fuck. You know, I had all kinds of crazy shit running through my mind.
I think I was just thinking that putting gloves on girls eliminates all the dirty tactics girls use to fight.
Yes. And
no hair pulling, no.
It's just these weird windmill punches.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, but they can't do like all the. When you watch women fight, like all the things that they do.
Whenever you see
eliminated by wearing gloves.
Yeah, when you see like the street fights, like
it's all wig snatching.
Yeah, it's all dirty as possible shit. The dirtiest possible shit.
Fingernails in the eyes, and
it was always fun because it was like you
can't with a boxing glove on, you can't take your shoe off, you know, to like hit someone with it.
It was like putting a glove on the end of a wet noodle. It was poor. And those fights, I mean, they scream at each other. I mean, Jesus Christ. And you know, but you know, luckily, again, everyone is way too drunk and they've got gloves on. So the women boxing fights were the best ones because they were like, well, you're not going to hurt me, thank God. But it's just a lot of this.
Yeah, a lot of arm swinging.
A lot of arm swinging, and you know,
and they get tired. They'll probably get worn out from.
They didn't though. They didn't though.
Really?
I think the men got worn out because I think the women they just because
I don't want to like piss people off.
I don't want to piss people off.
But they're fueled by crazy. So
there's another gear that women have that men don't. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We got anything else?
I think that's it. Let's tick it off. We had Chewy flashback waffles. We had a good Amish discussion.
Did we have a good Amish discussion?
No. We had an Amish discussion. We threw some dwarves. And then you referee some boxing. I think that covered a wide range. Although, to be honest, this was like a carnival sideshow that was catered by the Flashback Diner. All right.
Flashback to dwarf throwing.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I guess we can fuck off. And
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening or not, guys. Whatever. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.